Hey everyone, I'm Jason Foster, music director and record producer. If you want to know more about what I do, feel free to go to my website, jasonplaysmusic.com. So I'm in the thick of work. I have some tours coming up, a US tour, an Asia tour, an Africa tour. For the US tours, I'm functioning as a music director, and for the overseas tours, I'm functioning as a bass player. So I want to share with you a little bit about, preparing for a tour. So with preparing for a tour, the first thing I start thinking about is where's my passport? Sometimes it ends up in all types of places. So locating my passport, I still have to get my immunization shot card because I lost that. There are some countries, that when you get to customs, if you don't have that card, they just won't let you in. So I just want to make sure I get that, of course. Sometimes I'm thinking about whether a country requires a carnet, which is like a passport for gear. So I think about that, whether I'll need that or not, and usually the artist and their team will provide that. And there are times where I have to get my own documentation of a list of my gear. It has to be notarized. There are times I'll have to travel with that document. Other things I think about with touring, especially as a music director, is I think about the people that I have to lead and the people that I'm just serving in general. So the artist and the band, and those are my first priorities. And I hold being a music director with great pride. An opportunity to care for others, to help people succeed. I want people to win, So because I want everyone to win so badly and have such a good time, I work from that place, writing documents and PDFs of where they need to be at what time, and just lay out the schedule, lay out the set list, write it out, the keys, what's happening in every song, so there's no surprises. I want to limit surprises as much as possible. I think it's easier to improvise if you can lay out as much information. So one big lesson too is when you're approaching musicians as a music director, I highly recommend start off with the money. How much are they getting paid first, and then say the job. Usually you put musicians at ease. I think to the core of every professional musician, there's this little fear that, as the gig is over, you're not going to get paid. So like if you can put them at ease by talking about money first in conversations when they show up to the gig, if there's any way you can hand them the check before they even start playing, you start building a different kind of chemistry. There's a certain level of vulnerability that starts to happen. They let their hair down, they're different. With caring about everyone having a good time, I also think about that with musical arrangements. I love making musical arrangements that hopefully is hard to forget. Like I want it to be that inspiring, that if they tried to forget it, they couldn't. If I'm going to write a whole bunch of band licks and all that, it needs to be good. I hope it's catchy. That's my hope. And the same for the artist. I want the artist to be inspired. So we'll see it as a competition. Can I inspire everyone with the songs? Can I make an arrangement that's fun? So that's what goes through my head. And I also think about plan Bs and plan Cs, and making sure everything's bulletproof. So setting up tracks for the artist. The artist for the US tours, the range of his music is pretty wide. We're doing from pop to funk to soul, R&B, hip-hop, to gospel stuff. It's just a wide range. And he's a signed artist, so when the stakes are high, you're working with a signed artist, you just want to make sure that you have, plan B, plan C. Failure cannot happen. So that's kind of where I'm at with preparing, making sure the dancers have the material as early as possible so they can be working on choreography. I'm pretty sure I'm not naming everything, but those are things I'm thinking about. Now for the overseas tours, I'm playing bass, and my goal is to bring the best bass tone I can bring, the best performance I can bring, and hopefully serve the artist. In general, like a general rule, I try to bring more than music to anything, even though my primary role is to serve in music. I may bring cameras and just see if I can get shots of the artist and send him some video footage that he wasn't expecting. I can live stream something for them if they want to, So I like to make myself resourceful. Yeah, so that's what I do to prepare for a show. I'm not sure if this is all helpful. I just wanted to share with you what goes through my head as I'm preparing for tours as a musician, and as a music director. Thank you so much for listening. And for those going with me on this journey of talking music, I just want to say thank you so much. And if there's any questions you have, any way that I can help, feel free to ask. So, thank you so much. Have a good day.